Nude photos and sex issues can now be added to the long list of weird topics that have emerged from Johnny Depp and Amber Heard's infamous defamation trial that already included a severed finger and mysterious fecal matter. Yes, just when you thought it couldn't possibly get worse, we now have a 6,000-page court document that exposes Johnny Depp issues. Stick with us to find out more about the story. First off, Johnny Depp allegedly suffers from erectile dysfunction. Yes, you heard that right. Amber Heard's legal team wanted to include Johnny's alleged history of erectile dysfunction in the trial. They argued that it was very much relevant to her accusations that he violently assaulted her with a liquor bottle during their Australia trip. They argued that although he wouldn't want to disclose his condition, such information should absolutely be part of the records, as this condition makes it more probable for him to get agitated or angry in his encounters with Amber, so much so that he resorted to a bottle to assault her in that said trip. Besides this, they also maintained that mentioning his medical history wouldn't sway the jury against him. They further stated that this condition was unlikely to cause a strong emotional response, making it unlikely for the jury to do a rational assessment of its proper evidentiary weight. So obviously, Depp's team opposed it. In fact, they called Amber's attempt to include his medical history, particularly the prescription drugs that he was using for the treatment of herpes and erectile dysfunction, an attempt to take the trial down a number of unnecessary rabbit holes. Still, Depp has maintained his stance that he never physically attacked Amber, and he also stated that the encounter in Australia never happened. Secondly, his disturbing texts with Marilyn Manson. Well, Johnny's close friendship with troubled shock rocker Marilyn Manson was brought up several times during the trial, and the newly unsealed documents have now revealed that his team tried hard to keep his text messages with Marilyn private, claiming that it was an unfair attempt from Amber's side to paint him as guilty by association. Now, these documents reveal even more disturbing texts between the two alleged abusers. Yes, if you didn't know, Marilyn is also taking a page out of his close friend's book, as he's suing his ex-girlfriend, Evan Rachel Wood, for defamation, after she and others accused him of sexual violence and grooming. So according to the exposed texts, Marilyn texted Depp back in 2016 about a woman named Lindsay. We'd like to mention here that the singer is currently married to Lindsay Usage, who's a photographer. He mentioned in the text that he's having an Amber 2.0 situation, saying that Lindsay tried to pull an Amber on him. The actor texted back saying that he's been reading about such sociopathic behavior. Marilyn replied to this by saying that he's got a situation with his wife's family, and he's pretty stressed about it. He asked his friend to help him seek asylum somewhere as the cops might be headed his way. Another text revealed Manson mentioning an 18-year-old girl at his meet and greet to Johnny, saying that she was exactly the actor's type. Besides this, Johnny tried to submit Amber's nude photos, claiming that she used to be an escort. It seems unlikely that these unsealed documents will change the public opinion about the verdict at this point, but the tense behind-the-scenes negotiations exposed about the trial are so disturbing that it's hard to ignore them. Plus, there are so many things that were even more shocking than what we heard on the trial. This included the claims of Amber's legal team that Johnny had allegedly attempted to include her nude photos in the televised trial. They also asserted that his team wanted to bring up unnecessary personal matters, such as Amber's short stint as an exotic dancer years before meeting him. They stated that such an attempt only implied or suggested maliciously and frivolously that the Aquaman star was once an escort. Besides this, her lawyer Elaine Bredhoft strongly opposed this move in the documents, saying that submitting nude photos of Amber into the records would not only be highly distracting, but also unfair to the whole context of the trial, as it would show her as a symbol instead of a women's rights activist against domestic abuse. She further stated that such claims are unfounded and irrelevant to the trial, arguing that it was just a sick attempt to demean her character, because her work at a strip club after moving to LA to kickstart her acting career had nothing to do with the fact that he abused her. And last but not least, Depp fought hard to keep Amber's experts off the witness stand. Although he wasn't always successful, the unsealed documents have now revealed several several desperate attempts to keep most of Amber's experts off the witness stand. Yes, you heard that right. And although the actress's team was successful in having Elaine bargain for the testimony, Depp's team continued to urge the court to block her testimony, in which she claimed that he threw a bottle at her during a fight while she was dating him in the 90s. What's even more disturbing is that they also wanted to keep the troubling text between him and his friend Paul Bettany private. They shamelessly argued that the two men were just exhibiting a dark sense of humor when they talked about drowning Amber to see if she was a witch, with Johnny also saying that he would burn and mutilate her corpse. Besides this, they were also unsuccessful at blocking testimony from a psychiatric Dr. David Spiegel and another psychologist, Dr. Dawn M. Hughes, who met Amber for several sessions to determine her PTSD experience. On top of this, it was also revealed that Depp's team wanted to exclude the testimony of forensic expert Julian Ackert, who stated in court that photo and audio files submitted as evidence by his team raised concerns of alteration, manipulation, and deletion. Let's take a look at other shocking news from the world of Hollywood. Firstly, HBO Max strangely takes down movies without any reason. Something weird is definitely going on at the HBO Max headquarters, after it was revealed that Warner Bros. Discovery had canceled the straight-to-streaming movies including Batgirl and Scoob Holiday Hunt. Many keen-eyed Reddit users have also noticed that several Max original movies have been completely removed from the platform. As if this wasn't weird enough, the streamer also made no such announcement in their monthly reports of them quietly removing their original content. In fact, several media outlets reported that around 6 original movies had been mysteriously pulled out. Although they made no comments regarding the situation, we put on our detective capes to analyze everything, and here's what possibly forced them to take this step. Back in June, it was revealed that HBO Max was thriving, and in fact, ranked as the #1 streaming service by several media outlets. But there were several rumors that the second half of the year would be anything but stable for them, as they are planning on making movies for the bigger screen now, which require a higher budget. So it looks like they removed these titles in an attempt to cut off the costs. Besides this, an insider report previously stated that the major reason for Batgirl being shelved was taxes. Secondly, Logan and Deadpool to be the first R-rated films on Disney+. Oh, so it looks like Disney is fine with adding mature content to their library, because they recently announced in their monthly reports that Deadpool and Logan would be added to the streamer's library. This will make them the first R-rated films on the platform. It's really interesting to see Disney taking this step when it always prides itself on offering family-friendly content on the service. Remember when they moved the first season of Love, Victor from Disney Plus to Hulu at the last second? Even worse, they also canceled the Lizzie McGuire reboot for its adult themes. We are definitely going to tell our kids about this loss. Despite these ratings, Logan and Deadpool won't necessarily be the first signs of Disney's plans to move to adult content. Previously, they also added Luke Cage, Daredevil, Iron Fist, Punisher, and The Defenders, which were formerly on Netflix. Well, we're talking about Disney having mature content, so there's always going to be a catch. After announcing these titles, the service has now introduced parental controls due to the mature content. Still, it's a sign that they're going to loosen their reins a bit in the future. And finally, Selena Gomez to produce a Working Girl reboot. Sorry, Beyonce, it looks like Selena Gomez won't be giving up on her job soon. According to the reports, Gomez is in final talks to produce the latest reboot of 20th Century's new take on the 80s classic rom-com Working Girl. It looks like they're trying to pull a West Side Story here. If you haven't watched it, the original film revolves around an ambitious secretary who decides to impersonate her injured boss. No surprise here. After all, the original film had 6 Oscar nominations. The movie is supposed to drop on Hulu, which makes sense as Selena already stars in and serves as the executive producer on their critically acclaimed show, Only Murders in the Building. And hey, she was also nominated for an Emmy for this producing gig. That's a wrap for this video. What are your thoughts on the unsealed court documents? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more amazing and exciting videos like this. See you in the next one.